Imagine having the luxury of being able to sell your ebooks over through social media. No, not just sending them over to, say, Amazon or Smashwords or Ingram Spark or any of the other distributors. We're talking about selling directly from your social media. And also, we've got some other news up here. Overdrive finally removes their app from Apple and Google. And also, Amazon has been closing down and terminating accounts because of Kindle Unlimited. We're going to talk about some of those hot issues in today's news for March the 13th, 2023. Boy, I've got a lot of great information going out here into today's broadcast. Want to say thank you to each and every single one of you that are subscribed to me currently over on the YouTube podcast. That's at dalelinks.com/YouTube podcast. If you want to get the news hot off the press, you can always come straight on over to the source. But if you're enjoying the audio podcast where you're listening from, I appreciate you nonetheless. Let's just jump right on into things with starting it out. Oh man, big hot take here on this one. Amazon exclusivity clause causing issues for authors who are pirated. Now, there's actually been two pieces done by the Good e-reader. GoodEreader.com, great resource for self-publishers. But this particular piece is by Angela Waterfield, and she kind of goes through some of what has been going on lately. And so I think some of you might be aware of Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing's Select program, the KDP Select program. When you enroll your ebook into the KDP Select program, it must remain exclusive for the 90-day period. And if it renews, it will be another 90 days and so on and so forth. Now, if for some reason their bots go and they crawl the internet and they find your publication for free or for sale anywhere else, it could get you in a lot of hot water. Now, the problem is now it's detecting pirated versions of people's ebooks on KDP Select. That right there is just mind-boggling. That's just mind-blowing that the KDP team is not on top of this a little bit better and a little bit more understanding for authors that are getting unfairly snipped by this. I mean, it's like punishing the victims. These are people that are being victimized, yet for whatever reason, KDP is allowing this to go through. KDP, I know you watch and listen to my podcast. Come on, make it make sense, because this does not make any sense whatsoever. You're discovering pirated versions of people's books and then you're shutting them down? That don't make sense. I mean, tell me if I'm being crazy here on this one. Hey, let's move a little bit further forward here and some better news. This comes from the fine folks over at Scribando. By the way, they give me a free subscription to their stuff, so that way I can share it with you guys. If you want to get all of the information that they stock full here inside the Scribando every month, man, they get a lot of stuff. If you're not watching the visual on this one, it's chock full. But I just want to kind of just pick a couple of pieces that I found very good on this one. And a couple of those pieces, by the way, go over to Scribando, that's spelled SCRIBANDO.com to get yourself set up with that. There is no affiliate link. But all right, let's talk about link in bio. Now, you might have heard of link in bio. There's link in bio services. And essentially what they do is they kind of put all of your links together underneath one link within, let's say, your Instagram profile or over on Twitter or over on your Facebook business page. Anywhere that you're sharing a link in bio, they'll be able to do this. Now, I've not heard of these guys before, but they're called Koji. That's spelled Koji. And this is very interesting because the link in bio platform Koji launches new tool to let creators sell ebooks. That's not the only thing that they're allowing you to do. They give creators a digital storefront on social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok, and they launched a new ebook tool that lets users sell, ready for this, ebooks and audiobooks. The company announced this yesterday. The new tool is essentially a template that creators can use to sell any ebook or audiobook from within social media platforms, i.e. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, and anywhere else on the web. Koji also allows creators to make custom add-ons and shareable previews. Note that every time a customer buys an ebook or audiobook, Koji takes a 10% fee. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. To be honest with you, the fact that I can kind of get it to where there's less clicks for the customer and they're able to just buy it from within social media really has my attention. Could they be better? Yes, because you look at another platform like, say, Laterpress. Laterpress doesn't charge you a thing. You get to get all of your sales, unless, of course, they do the referral. In that instance, they do take a little bit of a cut. But, you know, there's no link in bio available for something like a company like Laterpress yet. Laterpress, I'm talking to you. But Koji has that 10% fee. That's not bad. Think about this. If you were to try to sell your ebooks through, say, Amazon, that's going to be 70%. Now, that's if you price it between $2.99 and $9.99. You spend, or excuse me, you put the pricing outside of that, it's going to end up being a 35%. Yeah, think about that. You sell it through Koji, you're going to essentially get it 90% of your earnings. I'd say that's fair. And not to mention audiobooks too. That right there is just mind-blowing. I really like the fact that you can do your ebooks and your audiobooks. Will I be taking advantage of this? We'll see. I'm going to probably play around with this. I did some digging, and is Koji free? Yep, it's 100% free. There are no premium upgrades, and every feature is available to all accounts. Now, they've got free templates, which Koji is powered by templates featuring hundreds of free options for social media. Purchases on Koji. This is how it works. Many Koji users use templates that accepts payments via social media, including tip jar, shout out, unlock a photo, and so much more. There are transaction fees. Most are about 5%, which includes 3.5% going to credit card processing fees. Totally understandable. If they're doing the 10% for ebooks and audiobooks, I think that's fair. It's not terrible. Then again, it's my opinion, so it doesn't, whatever you might think might vary wildly different from mine. Hey, so it was last year that I did announce this particular thing that was going away. Now, don't get freaked out because I know at the very beginning of this news segment, I said Overdrive was going away. Overdrive is sticking around, but their app has been removed from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. The reason being is they now have the Libby app. Now, I've used the Libby app myself as a reader. Love it. Absolutely love it. In fact, I'd say 50% of my reading comes through the library because I get a library card, I attach it to my Overdrive account, and then anytime I want to check out an ebook, I just go through my Overdrive app and just check it out. Or in instances like this, through Libby. And it's really nice interface. It has so many great features. Can't say enough great things about it. So while Overdrive has closed its app down, it actually has the Libby as a replacement. So if you're already listening to Overdrive and you've got customers or readers who are listening to Overdrive, just send them over to Libby. Tell them it's the same company, just a different service and a different look. Next item up here in the news. This one actually comes from Ingram Spark, and you might have heard me say this over the past few weeks. I think it's important that I go ahead and say it again because a few companies are actually asking people to do this. The Authors Guild wants you to take part in their author survey. Thank you for taking part in this extremely important study. It's key to so much of the advocacy work we all do to protect and promote the writing profession. Your participation ensures that your voice is heard by government policy makers, industry leaders, and others, and it will benefit you, your fellow authors, and U.S. literary culture. We absolutely protect your privacy. Your responses are completely anonymous, and results will only be shared on an aggregate basis as confirmed by the confidentiality agreement signed between your organization and Authors Guild. So if you've already filled out the Authors Guild survey, you probably already know this. Don't go fill it out again. Just do it once if you already did it once. But as a appreciation and as a thank you, they're going to draw one of $150 Visa gift cards for anybody that goes ahead and do that. Now, the part that I really wanted to kind of impart on you was the participation that you kind of can help to help kind of shape this business and shape this industry. So that way, policymakers in your area get a better idea of what's going on. There are so many things. Can I just bring up, for instance, Bowker? How do they have a monopoly on our entire, business for ISBNs in the US and Australia? How does Nielsen have a lockdown on UK? Well, we need to make sure that we're informing our government policy makers what's going on as indie authors. So I can't implore you enough. Just almost short of begging, please go fill out this Authors Guild survey. Be honest as possible. Sometimes it's brutally honest. Don't worry, no one's going to judge you. They're just going to take that information and put it all together. All right, and that's plugged by Ingram Spark there, folks. And if you are using Ingram Spark, by the way, let me hook you up with a coupon code of Dale2023, and you can get your upload fee completely waived. That's a one-time use, okay? So as soon as you use it on one account, that's it. It's done. All right, moving a little further forward, this is a great piece by the folks over at Reedsy. How much does it cost to self-publish a book in 2023? Now, they generally speaking, just kind of right at the very beginning, they said it costs between $500 to $4,800 to publish a book. But from Reedsy's 2022 to 2023 data, average prices range up to $2,000 for an editor and $750 for a book cover designer. So they actually break this down. And by the way, all of the links to this is going to be inside the show notes as per usual. The average cost of professional editing on a 60,000 word book ranges from $2,400 to $3,400. Wow. And believe it or not, it actually breaks down into different genres and expectations for each one of those. They have a nice little pricing calculator so you can kind of figure it out. They also talk about the types of editing you can anticipate, from developmental editing to copy editing to proofreading. They also kind of go a little bit further in depth, of course, with cover design costs under $750 for 60% of projects. I've spent over $800 on my covers before, but I will be straight up honest with you. Will I anticipate doing that again? Probably not, because I've found a very good, inexpensive service. I'm not going to mention them because they are not the sponsors of today's video. Book formatting costs, those can cost anywhere from $250 to $750. That's an average cost of hiring a professional. The reason why you want to get somebody who does interior layout, because they know how to do it and make it look just right. And of course, they talk about marketing costs and all the other things you can kind of anticipate in between. And rather than regurgitating all the information you'll find out from Reedsy on their blog, I'll just send you on over to there. Hey, I was just talking about Letterpress just a moment ago, and they actually have a great weekly newsletter, and highly recommend that you get yourself subscribed to it. Big shout out to Nate Gillick, good guy right there, a longtime supporter here of this channel. Any rates, they actually sent a really good piece here about how women are now publishing more books than men, and it's good for business. Women have gone from publishing just 18% of books in the 1960s to more than half today, driving up revenue and diversifying readership. This is actually a piece put out by Quartz, that's QZ.com, and they go a little bit more in depth about that disparity of there was a lack of female authors representing the all of women authors out there, and how it was very much in favor of men, and now it's kind of leaned over towards that direction. And I think that's absolutely fantastic to get a more good idea on this piece and what this means to the whole writing community, both traditional publishing as well as self-publishing. You want to go ahead and give that one a read. Hey, Barnes & Noble Press sent out an email this past week, and I'm not sure if you ended up getting it, but Barnes & Noble Press really wants to reward you as an author, and they're going to hook you up with a 30% off for their latest Nook Glow Light 4 and Glow Light 4e when you use the coupon code BNPressOff30. That's 30. That's BNPressOff30 at checkout, and the terms and conditions can apply. See online for details, yada yada. The offer does end by April the 8th. Now, do I plan on getting a Nook? Not really. I find that in most instances, I really just kind of like my Kindle Reader app. I did buy a Nook Glow Light about a couple years ago. I used it all of maybe 4 times before I gifted it to somebody. It was great. It was fantastic. But I always find the most convenient way to read books for myself is, of course, through the Kindle Reader app. But I just want to kind of let you know about that, because they do want to reward Barnes & Noble Press authors. Go check out Barnes & Noble Press. That's press.barnesandnoble.com, and find out why I feel like they're probably one of the best print-on-demand distributors, though they don't reach as far as I'd like them to. Next item up in the news. Boy, we're moving. We're cooking right along here, and this actually comes from the folks over at PublishDrive.com. Now, PublishDrive is an aggregate distributor, meaning that they will go ahead and publish your works to various platforms on your behalf. And all you've got to do with them is you have to pay a monthly fee. It's a subscription fee to where you pay for the number of books that are published through their platform. They don't take any of your earnings outside of just that monthly subscription fee. But they did put out an email this past week, and it is Apple's Romance Starter Kit sale between April the 11th and April 29th. We are collecting nominations for Apple Books Romance Starter Kit sale. The hand-picked books that end up on the roster will be discounted in a prominent sale from April 11th to April 29th. If your book meets the criteria and you have enabled Apple Bookstore, feel free to apply. Determine the discount price that you would comfortably set and fill in the form for each of those. Now, the description is, obviously you're looking at romance here, folks. So if you're a romance author and you're distributing through Publish Drive or planning to distribute to them, then this might be the option. These books for readers that are thinking of trying romance but don't know where to start. These are perfect reads for new romance writers, the kind of books that teeter across multiple genres, such as fiction, romance, or romantic fantasy, so on and so forth. The promotional price that they're looking for is $2.99 or less. Again, this is by way of Publish Drive. I don't know that Apple has this available if you're publishing direct through their platform. Something probably you can send a support ticket in for just to find out a bit more information. Man, this is kind of crazy for me to say, but this is going to wrap it up for today's self-publishing news. So, of course, I'm going to do a really quick plug here for the Self-Publishing Hub. If you've not heard about it yet, it is my new video-on-demand platform. Think of it kind of like YouTube on steroids. You don't need to worry about any kind of commercial interruptions. You can watch all of the videos that you would like to for only $9.99 per month. Lots of new content rolling out on a regular basis. Go over to theselfpublishinghub.com. Again, The Self-Publishing Hub. You have to put in THE in order to get to the actual theselfpublishinghub.com. And it is available now through the Apple App Store, and soon, hopefully, Google will be spreading into that one. What did you think about those pieces of news? Was there any particular piece that you enjoyed the most? Was there a particular item that I might have missed? And if there was one that I missed, please join me over in my Discord community at dalelinks.com/Discord and just hit me up on in there. It's a great way to get a hold of me. It's almost like texting me if you join the Discord community. Hope to see you on the inside.